The investigation of Gennady Pavlyuk murder case is also far from over. Yesterday, the Kazakh team returned from the neighboring Kyrgyzstan after completing its work there. Find out more from the next report.
Kazakh team investigating the murder of journalist Gennady Pavlyuk has completed its work in Kyrgyzstan. This information was revealed yesterday in Bishkek during the meeting of the Parliament's Special Purpose Committee. The Minister of Internal Affairs Musa Kongantiyev reported that the investigation team finished work on all issues and already returned to Kazakhstan. On Saturday, the investigation group left Kyrgyzstan to Kazakhstan to continue their investigation there. At the moment, the investigation group is not providing any information concerning the involvement of Kyrgyz citizens in this crime. Meanwhile, the police of both countries reluctantly comment on the investigation process. As I already told you, we still share the details after the final investigation processes. On December 16th, witnesses in Almaty reported that a body fell from the upper floors of an apartment building at about 5 p.m. Famous Kyrgyz journalist Gennady Pavlyuk was still alive when the ambulance and police arrived at the scene. Eyewitnesses reported that his arms and legs were tied with a scotch tape. They, however, declined giving comments to the press. Our son said he saw a falling body. That's it. He didn't see anything else. I will not give interviews on the matter, as we're already tired of all these questionings. Kazakh press has made a few speculations about the tragedy and reasons for the murder. One of the versions involves Kyrgyz intelligence services. These assumptions, however, are still without proof. It is known that police already has a list of suspects. It is worth mentioning that there were no major statements about the case after the return of the investigation team from Kyrgyzstan.
Parents of children with cancer and hepatitis C demand to form an independent commission which will include NGOs, representatives and members of victims' families. Deputy Murat Abenov addressed the appeal to the parliament yesterday.
In the inquiry, Abenov presented the already well-known details of the scandal linked to the infection of children with hepatitis B and C. Parents of children who have cancer didn't trust the findings of 3 commissions and asked to set up a new independent team that will include foreign experts and representatives of the World Healthcare Organization who will objectively clarify the reasons of the infection in the Almaty's Pediatrics Center. Accident victims also appealed to the political party Nuratan, Prime Minister and President. The protracted process of making a decision on those issues leads to social tension among the patients' families. It decreases the citizens' level of trust in the competence of certain bodies. Thus, the absence of official state positions simply creates more rumors.
On January 27th, NATO Secretary-General Andreas Fogh Rasmussen and Kazakh Foreign Affairs Minister Kanat Saldobayev signed an agreement in Brussels allowing NATO to use Kazakhstan as a transit country through which the organization will redeploy its forces to Afghanistan.
A communique from January 27th says that railroad transit of non-lethal cargo through Russia and Central Asia intended for the international security forces in Afghanistan will likely start in the coming days. The cargo will not include military equipment, arms and ammunition, said NATO representatives. Kazakh officials have yet to comment on the issue. There might be different advantages to this, as it is a multifaceted aspect. This cargo transit can be used to work on many different issues, including obtaining economic guarantees, extra investments. It can also be used as a political negotiation tool.
Kazakh books might completely disappear from the local stores soon. The country's book chamber representatives claim that the majority of books on the market are foreign publications. In response, publishing houses say that promoting domestic writers is not profitable. The next report has more.
Kazakh bookstores are full of literature written by Russian authors. Local publications do not hold even the 5th part of the market. The Kazakh book chamber is concerned that the country's joining of the customs union could lead to a situation when local books will disappear from Kazakh stores altogether. The state allocates a certain amount of money for each publisher to print one book, and then this book is printed with a total circulation of 2,000 copies. All of them are distributed among the country's libraries, never reaching mass customers. Bookstores cannot supply Kazakh readers with domestic literature. The volume of printed material is too low, even though the demand for Kazakh publication is growing. Clients do ask for specific books and writers, but we do not have them in our catalogs. We cannot even say whether we will have these books in stock in the future, whereas we always have plenty of Russian writers and books. It is more profitable to print textbooks, say publishers. Specialized literature is always in demand and is easy to sell, unlike fiction, which is currently being avoided by Kazakh publishing houses. The self-sufficiency is too low. For instance, in Russia, one fiction book usually has a circulation of 10,000 copies. With these numbers, the book's cost drop, and it becomes accessible to the population, while the number of readers is growing. Kazakh publishers suspect that the customs union will bring even greater competition to the local book market.
Although commercial literature might disappear, luckily there are things around that the market cannot control. One of them is jazz. This musical genre never achieved a mainstream status like rock, but is still very popular nevertheless. Find out more from the next story.
An Almaty coffee house was selected by organizers of musical evenings which traditionally gather together representatives of the city creative elite. Jazz was chosen as the main theme. The return to jazz era was illustrated through music. Organizers say that jazz represents liberal music. This explains why jazz still remains one of the most popular genres. We want to create a more democratic atmosphere in our coffee house, because jazz is the music of workers. It's the music of slaves, and now in Almaty, office workers can visit a coffee house, order a cup of coffee, relax and enjoy some wonderful jazz. Performer Iran Aravina works as an MC during World Music Evenings. She already has many fans among the coffee house crowd. Iran gives vocal lessons to many of them. Jazz runs in her blood, as Iran's father was a chairman of the first jazz club in Almaty, while her grandfather and brother are famous music experts. If you have listened to jazz once, it will be impossible not to fall in love with it, and impossible to tear yourself away from this culture, because jazz represents freedom from any restraints and limits. Organizers promise to continue their musical series in the future. Just like before, visitors will be able to enjoy wonderful performances, as well as learn about the history of jazz music and famous musicians, including the founder of improvisation jazz, Dizzy Gillespie.
These were the latest updates for January the 28th. Thank you for staying with us. Goodbye.